Good morning, YouTube. Let's take a look at the news for today. Let's see. Yesterday we had these manufacturing news drops, and then we had some USD. What was it? 98. Right, USD new home sales, flash manufacturing, and then the official cash rate for the NZD, which turned out quite poor for us, at least my trades. I was getting into a good position, felt like at the start of yesterday, and the cash rate just skyrocketed, or just crushed the NZD, so skyrocketed in inverse pair, which I was into so did not go over super well. So let's just get into it. Let's see. All right, so the trades I'm talking about are here. AUDNZD was not doing too bad. Ended up getting a rejection here at 106.074. Whenever at this level, good. We had our stop above, came back down, and then the news drop hit at 1900 PST or 7 o'clock, and price just skyrocketed and maintained going up, and so that knocked us out of our trade. And again, same thing with EURNZD. Got into the price here, did really well here too, ended up getting in. So price reached a high of 748 and we got in at like 688, and then price rejected, it came back up and then skyrocketed a little higher. I remember telling myself 5 minutes before the news drop, I should probably move my stops to break even just in case. Don't know how much that would have saved me. Price did seem to just immediately skyrocket, but anyways, so we are out of those two trades. Ended up getting into another trade here on Euro AUD. Try to get in at 1635 at this level of structure. Previous highs tagged with the tagged with the trend line. I must have gotten in. I didn't get in right here at 1900. I must have gotten in a little later, right here at 11 o'clock. And yeah, price has not yet reached stop loss. Not too convinced that price is going to reject at this level of support. Probably not the best entry in hindsight, but hindsight bias is a thing. And anyways, we're just going for it. So sorry, that was the trade for Euro AUD. And then the only other trade I'm in is the USD yen. Got in the end of last week at 138s. Price went back up. Originally was on a 70 pip stop, changed it to 100 pips. Price came back down on news. I think it was the Fed speech, Jerome Powell speech. Price dropped and then has continued to meander back up just based on previous price action. As much as I think this immediate move is bullish, I think overall we are scheduled for a pullback. You know, we kind of ripped open or above these sort of previous resistance highs. We're at the tip top of this trend line. We've broken already through this trend line, and I could definitely see price dropping down to these levels or to these 136.5 levels. So that's it for the analysis on prior trades. Let's see what else. If you guys don't do this, I highly recommend following up on previous trades. So for example, not this guy, GBPAUD, this guy. So these are all prior trades. We had winner here, winner here, winner here, loser. This one is, oh wait, no. Yeah, so this one was the loser we took. This one was a winner that was never taken. So this was a missed opportunity. Would I have gotten 5R on this trade? No, I would have gotten 2R. But I like to monitor trades all the way up to 5R to see what the potential is. And that way I can journal it and I can know, okay, am I missing out? You know, when I go for 2R on my trades, let's just give a hypothetical example. Let's just say on 50% of my trades, I get 2R, and on 45% of my trades, I actually get 3R. So 50 times 2 is 100 minus 50, so I get 50R on 100 trades, right? 45 times 3 is 135, minus 55 is 80R. So in one scenario, I'm getting 50R, in the other scenario, I'm getting 80R. It just makes more sense to all of a sudden change my system to try to get 3R on my trades. And this is obviously assuming that A, I have a large enough sample size that this isn't just noise, and B, I do understand that prior backtesting or prior results don't predict future results. So just because I could have changed something in the past about my system and it would have made it more profitable does not guarantee that it's going to make my future system more profitable. But you don't know until you try it. And if you have a large enough sample size, it should give you an indication that yes, changing something can create it to be more profitable in the long run. Anyways, that's just the sort of lesson for today. So the idea was the stop loss here. I had placed the stop loss at the previous highs here, this previous level of resistance, and had I placed it at this previous level of support instead, I could have gotten in here, had a 60 pip stop, and chased it with a 300 pip take profit and got a 5-to-1 in a hypothetical. Same thing here. I've got this trade on AUDCHF. Now I did trick this trade. I did end up getting 2-to-1 here. And I'm continuing to monitor it for a 5-to-1. Similar to these two, I got these two winners. This guy I monitored, he ended up getting a 5-to-1. You can see this large drop. Whereas this guy, I don't think he got a 5-to-1. No. So anyways, that's it for reviewing previous trades. Let's get into the analysis for the day. AUDCAD on the hourly. Again, we've got this nice drop all the way down. Yeah, we've got this trend line, this higher time frame trend line, and we've got this lower time frame trend line. Let's look at this 5-minute quickly. Let's take a sip of tea very quickly. So I'm gonna have to update this with that record. So ADHD right now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to update the record on the live stream. We have 2 more losses, unfortunately. The main premium stats, I think we have 3 or 4 more losses. Yeah, I have to update that. Okay, on the 5-minute, can't say I see much. We have this large precipitous decline, drop in price action here, or drop in price here, but I don't see much good patterning associated with this. Such that we could find some quick and easy levels of structure to wait for a price to pull back to. So we're going to go on to the next one. AUDCHF. Again, lower trend line. We have this wedge pattern. We have prices broken out underneath this wedge. In times past, we have this second trend line. We could treat the bottom of this wedge as a sort of support and resistance. And in times past, I have definitely done that, and it's worked out sometimes, and it hasn't worked out other times. Had this have been not the second touch creating a higher low, I would be more keen on actually taking this sell. Because price had already come up to it, rejected, and created a higher low, and it's coming up again. I think I'm going to pass. What I mean by that is this came up, it's doing this, and what we can maybe expect is something like this, right? Whatever it is. Had price just continued like this, I could see myself getting into the trade a little bit, with a little bit more confidence. So, 1 second. There we go. All right. Moving right along. We'll go on the 1 hour for AUDJPY. Maybe clean up some of these. So, originally, I think on the highest time frame, we had this ascending wedge. So, our channel, we had the top of the channel here, bottom of the channel here. Price ended up getting into this pennant, top of the pennant, bottom of the pennant, and then after it broke out of the pennant, we formed this more narrow, lower time frame ascending channel again, marked up our level of structures, and it seems like price is broken out now. So it's a matter of, do we see an opportunity to sell? Delete that. Delete that. Alright. We'll go on 5 minute. Again, I actually do think this could be a good opportunity for a sell. You just need to figure out where is the best entry. So we had a previous high here, here, here. We had rejections from support here, here, and here, and here. So I'm thinking maybe 2.5 with a stop at 200. All the JPY pairs are down today. Not by much though. Ugh. All right. Getting out the trustee pip calculator. All right. Rejecting pretty hard on this 5 minute, but that's okay. We're gonna maintain it. Just gonna update the chat. There we go. Things are loaded in the streams. Yeah. Okay. So moving right along. Let's get into AUDNZD. Big move up. Continuing higher price action. Not much I can see for why we get into a buy or a sell at this time. So we are just going to leave it, monitor. That's okay. Actually, let's go on to AUD on the hourly. Nice. Nice drop here into this level of support. Again, not much we can see here as to why we'd get into a sell. Price is dropping. It's at this support level. Not really worth a buy, not really worth a sell. No patterns have formed. Not really connecting any trend lines. Not really seeing it at any level of structure. I mean, it's at this support level, but that's probably not good enough to just buy it, you know? There's no reason it can't continue on downward. So we're gonna move right along. CADCHF. Doesn't look like there's much here else. We had this nice little long time frame pennant form right here. Price ended up breaking down, having this little mini 5-minute retest and going back down. When did this happen? This happened around midnight, or right around the London Open. I trade this UTC. It's, oh yeah, -7, which is Pacific Standard Time, because I am in Vancouver. So shout out to all my Canadian traders, which seems to be a lot, especially those who stream. Anyways, moving right along. JPY, we had an opportunity that we were thinking of buying or price to come down to this level. Again, not anything we're expecting to happen soon. It was more of a, let's see, 1025, 101. That's that's about 130, 140 pips away. So not an insignificant drop in price for us to get into a buy. CADCHF, this one we did not get into a buy. We had our alert set here at 1532. I think I'm going to scrap this idea for now. Remove that. We're looking possibly at a breakout of this level and looking for a trendline breakdown. So if we look at the smaller time frames, we have this previous level of support turning into resistance. Let's just say we were to get into a sell here, we'd probably want to be above here and targeting 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. If we do take this, this will be the first trendline break. So yeah, broke the trend line. Let's see, how strong was the trend line? We had 1, 2, 3, 4. This was the 5th touch. We had multiple highs here. We broke below the trend line, retested, and broke below it again. CADCHF is at like an insane high of highs these days. I think the highest it's ever been is right up here at 158676. Again, not necessarily a reason to sell, especially indiscriminately. Price can continue to go up indefinitely as long as the yen is doing poorly. Hopefully you didn't pick up on that noise too loudly. Three. So we are in the trade for a trendline break. 662. 541 440 times 3 280 920 1320. Too bad. We'll call it 523. Okay. 5 minutes. just updating the Telegram. Right. Okay. So we're not quite in this trade yet. We are in the yen. We are almost out of this trade. Not much point doing analysis here. Let's try to move him down. So always like to move my taking trade. So what I do is, and here's a little strategy for you if you are so inclined. There we go. So what you see is on the top I have all my symbols with my market structures laid out, and then on the bottom I have my prior trades. Anything in blue is what has already completed, it's already come to fruition, whether it hit the stop loss or hit 5R. Anything in orange means it has not yet hit the 5R, so I'm still actively monitoring it to see if it makes it that far. There we go. This guy across. And this guy across. Actually, delete that. I think we're actively trading in that zone. And this guy was more actively in here, roughly. Okay, move up, Euro AUD, take this guy out. There we go. Okay. Alright, so you can see a little bit of the process of how I move trades. So all the ones on the top, so being in a trade doesn't necessarily muddle my market analysis. And that's specifically important for being able to see new opportunities in the market, even in trades you're already in. And what I mean by that is, let's close this guy back up. Okay, let's get into a previous trade. So EURU. So I had gotten into this trade. And when I was in this trade, I was so busy focusing on this trade that where I deleted, I did not realize another opportunity presented itself here. And so we had broken a previous high. Price had come back down to this level. We had trend line support ×2. So we had this lower trend line here, and we had this upper trend line here. And what we could have done is we could have gone into a second buy here, kept the price action a little closer, went for 2, and we would have hit the take profit there. Or kept it a little bit longer, gone for 3, hit the take profit there. Maybe not, but you get the idea. There was a missed opportunity for a second entry on this that was completely valid to my setup. There we go. And instead, what we did, we ended up just hitting stop loss. So we had all this opportunity here to continue to take profits, and it didn't work out. So it's always important to sort of clear your markets with fresh analysis. Okay. Anyways, moving along nice and slowly. So this is Euro AUD, EURCAD. We were in this previous upward channel. We had this double top, precipitous drop. Can't say I'm looking at anything here. Price action's looking kind of all over the place. Not much on the lower time frame either. So we sort of move right along. EURCHF. We were looking for a trade here. We are looking for a sell at this level. Looks like the euro is gaining a lot of traction. It's going up. Do we have some news drops this morning? Right. So we had this German info business climate, GBP, GBP, Treasury, FOMC at 11 a.m. That could shake things up. There was an FOMC meeting at the end of last week, I think. Let's take a look. By settings. Fed Chair Powell. Okay, so it was an FOMC meeting. It was just him speaking. But I did notice that at 8 a.m. the US dollar dropped significantly. So there's always good opportunity for these meetings to cause a lot of stir a lot of volatility in the markets. But anywho, yeah, based on our analysis, this could be a good opportunity for a sell. Probably take the sell down closer to here at 976. We have not the cleanest level of structure. We do have a few points of structure that would sort of corroborate this. First of all, we have this descending trend line. As long as I'm okay taking trades, as long as my stop loss is outside of that trend line, price respects the trend line and comes back down, then we're all Gucci. But we also want to time it with some sort of area of support and resistance. So we have this level of support, we have these levels of resistance, and we have these levels of resistance down here, which would give us a feeling that this could go down. So let's see, if we set it at 6 and we aim for a 3-to-1. Let's set it up. We're going to go to our trusty pip calculator, figure out what our risk should be. Alright, that guy's in. Image. Send them to the Telegram. All right, that is all updated. Here we go. Lots of updates. All right, moving right along. EURJPY. Not much here. Lower time frames. I think we're looking for a buy at this level. Price has continued down, reached this bottom support, and has continued up. I think the euro is rallying pretty well right now. It looks to be that way. Looks like he's out of the trade. Stop loss was 1642, so that's another stop loss hit. Take a look here, EURGBP. We have descending trend line. We had this higher level of structure in this descending wedge. We have this lower level of structure in this descending wedge. We had this significant breakout into a large impulse move to the upside. We have price on the lower time frame hitting this minor level of resistance here. We are going to just move right along. Let's see, EURNZD is doing amazing. Just shot up. He's up over 2.2%, 300 and nearly 400 pips, which is crazy to think about. All from an interest rate decision, plus whatever else is happening on the euro that's causing it to rally. We're just gonna leave him alone for now, let him settle, figure out what's happening, maybe let's set up some patterns or levels of structure, and then we'll get back into taking trades. So EURJ is up, EURG is up, EURNZD is up, EURUSD is kind of up, not doing that great. It's probably because the USD itself is doing pretty half decent today. Can't say I'm seeing too much here. Price had broken down, is rallying higher. Not much opportunity here. I'm gonna move right along. GBPAUD. Similarly, price had made these new highs, had broken down, and has continued up a little bit higher. We are just going to monitor this. Move it along. GBPCAD. Breaking up this ascending trend line, is struggling here to break above this previous sort of resistance, turn support, turn resistance again. Go to the 5 minutes. He's rejecting at similar levels, but trading within a range as he has this level of support down here at 1672. So we are just going to leave it be for a little bit. Wait for price action to figure out a direction, see if we can't get in on the break and retest. GBPCHF, 1 hour, large price action to the upside. Here, a bit of a rejection. Again, just kind of going sideways with some big ticks up and down. So we are just going to ignore it, move along. GBPJPY. Not too bad. Hit this support, has continued to rally. Maybe move this resistance up here where it's a bit more applicable. It's trading in this nice sideways price action. On the hourly higher time frame, we do see this nice ascending channel here, but we are probably just going to ignore it for now. Not much we see, at least nothing that fits the price action. GBPNZD also up almost 2%, is up. Also about 400 pips from the interest rate decision. Is just crushing it. So similar to EURNZD, not much there. GU, big price spike here, but continuation down from these highs. I think we had possibly considered taking a sell position here yesterday, but obviously we didn't put in an alarm or a sort of sell signal, so we weren't too convinced. Were I to have even done that, I might have hit stop loss. Probably would have taken, I don't know. Nah, let's just not talk about hindsight bias. Which hindsight bias affecting where I would and wouldn't take my trades. NZDCAD, large drop. I think we were possibly looking to get into a sell if had price come up to that level, but it did not, and then it has melted away, especially after the interest rate decision. NZDCHF similarly melt away after the interest rate decision. NZDJPY similarly melt away after the interest rate decision. This could have been possibly a good setup for a trend line break. We had this trend line up here, we broke, we came up, we retested, we formed this sort of pennant formation, and then on the interest rate decision we precipitously dropped. Where would have been the best opportunity to get into this? It's tough to say. I've been paying more attention. I generally don't do my analyses this late. Like, I was monitoring for my trades, but I wasn't analyzing the market to get into opportunities. Yeah, it'd be tough. I don't know when would have been the best opportunity to get in. Maybe as price broke in here with a stop pretty close, or even above the high there actually. Aim for a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1. But that's not what we did. So moving right along, NZDU had this nice support on the 5 and the hourly and has tanked below it. Not going to touch any of these NZD pairs at this moment. USDCAD. Trading this pennant formation. I think we had mentioned that we could see ourselves buying to the upside yesterday, but I think the idea was on this break and retest higher, there wasn't just enough range to the top by this trend line to get into it, so we decided to ignore it and not get in. And then aside from that, maybe an opportunity to get into a sell here as price continues up. We'll reach this previous level of resistance here, here, here. We have this descending trend line with multiple touches. The only issue is we have this ascending support structure here that could give it support to sort of, even if it does say reject here, it bounce and sort of continue like this, which would be obviously less than ideal if we're getting into a short here. But we will have to monitor. Maybe wait to see if price does do that, or if it breaks down. Just a bit of a waiting game. USDCHF, next one on the docket. Break of this trend line. Currently in an ascending trend line support system. Not at any good levels of structure at the moment. None that I see. Ideally, we make higher highs and we continue back down to this level zone here and we go for a buy, but only time will tell. Okay, USDJPY. This is our same trade that we've been stuck in for a while. If it hits 139, we are out at stop loss. Entry was 138. Just looking at it right now, it's sort of meandering in this zone, building up liquidity. Could be an opportunity for it to go higher, could be a good opportunity for it to go lower. Could shoot above 139 by a couple hundred pips and then shoot down lower. That would be your sort of pin bar or whatever you call it if you trade Wyckoff. But anyways, not much that I see on the lower or higher time frames outside of the trade I've already taken. I'm currently in a sell at 138. If you believe my analysis, you can get into another sell even now at a higher price, expecting price to drop, maintaining a semi-good 100 pip stop loss, aiming for a 2 to 1. I'm already in the trade. I don't want to increase my risk, which is why I'm not getting into any of the sell, but we can see there's nice price action to the upside and lots of opportunity for movement back down to these lower trendline levels. Yeah, that's it for the 28 Forex pairs. Quickly dip into US 30. You can see it's obviously getting down to this lower trendline level. Don't necessarily know that I would go for a buy. He's kind of all over the map with his price action, has broken out a couple times just to come back into the range. Let's see, US 100 broke out of this wedge to go a little higher. We're just going to monitor. US 500 similarly broke out of this descending triangle, is coming back down. Could get a bounce off this level of support. We will see. Gold's not much for the analysis here. More price to come up here. I could see myself getting into a sell right about here. But the stops maybe at 2020, target 3 to 1. But that's fine. That could be sometime later this week or early next week, depending on how price action plays out. So that's it for today. That's all the trades. In summary, we were looking to get in this AUDJPY trade. We have our limit order placed. Price looks like it might not make it that high. We'll see. We are looking to get into, we are in this CADCHF trade for about 5 pips in profit. Hoping for, expecting a 3 to 1. And what else? We have a limit order here on EURCHF. So we have 2 limit orders open, AUDJPY, EURCHF. We got hit on our stop loss for EURAUD. So took an L there. Took an L on EURNZD on news yesterday. Took an L on AUDNZD on news yesterday. And we are currently 60 pips in loss on USDJPY. So that is the current state of affairs of the account. I'm going to update the record, update my journals. If you guys don't have a journal, I highly suggest getting one. You can be a cheap ass like me and use Microsoft Excel, or you could be a rich ass like me and use something like Edgewonk. Costs like $200 a year, which $200 a year is like $200 for a single payment is expensive for something, but considering how much money we all lose in the markets every day, probably not that expensive, and it's over the course of a year, so it's really not too bad. Maybe I'll create a video at some point going over the features of EdgeWonk for you guys. Yeah, that's it for today. Cheers. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great trading day and good luck.